Hi everyone, this is Dr. Willie Green, aka Dr. Financial Literacy. Just wanted to say hello, and we're up to day 14. So I want to go back and also recap some definitions and concepts, and use some videos, hopefully to do maybe a better job of explaining them. One of the videos that I want to look at is velocity banking, what it is, and we'll run this for just a moment. All right, and here we go. Okay, so with that example, that's one of the things that I was doing. I took one of the balances of one of my cards and tried to hit the average daily balance by putting my paycheck in and also by putting the advance cash in. And that's important. And that's also important, the average daily balance. So when you get an opportunity, just go to Google and then go to YouTube, put in velocity banking, and just get a little bit more familiar. I think it'd be well worth it. Now, I'm going to stop the screen and just try to do a recap of what I have so far in general. This Sunday, one of the things that I did was I went to Navy Federal, and then, I went to the internet and just was reading about the pledge loan. And let's look at the definition of Navy Federal pledge loan. Okay. And here it is right here. A pledge loan, also known as a secure savings loan, is a loan where you borrow from your savings without a hard credit pull. So Sunday, what I did, moved some money around. I put it into my Navy Federal savings account, which was I think $2 or $3, and I put like a couple of thousand in there, and that became the pledge loan or the collateral that I will be using. It can help with building credit, increasing internal scores, and improving your chances for higher limit credit cards. So although the loan itself is 2.25, just like this indicated, is helped to improve my credit and improve me for getting a larger loan amount. So I have a copy of the members copy e-promissory note. This document includes a promissory note, a security against, and in truth in lending. Please read everything. It is called Purpose of Loan Share Savings Pledge. Cost cash to borrow $4,000. I put in $4,000 and they gave me back $4,000 2 days later. But I still have a loan that will be out for $4,000, and it just will be like an automobile loan in general. It's going to be placed on my credit, so you may take a hit you may take a hit, and then it could improve your score. Improve my score. I'm sorry. The annual percentage rate on this particular loan is 2.25. So of this 4,000, I think we'll look at some of the other credit cards that I have that's above 5,000, pull this money out and pay off the credit card, but I still have like a loan and it's going to go on my credit as if it's a long-term installment loan and help out. 2.25%. The finance charge, $233.95. Total of my payments will be $4,233.95. I will be making 59 payments of $70.57 beginning 3/10/24. So yeah, when you get a chance, look at Share Savings Pledge with either Navy Federal or some other organizations. All right, so just a general recap on some other things. Let's see. When I first started, one of the things I wanted to do was to decrease my debt on my credit cards. So in the first week of Velocity Banking last month, I was able to achieve that. And those were, as we've already talked about, included I had a Discover. Sorry about that. I have a Discover card that was $13.63. Also had a pedal card which was $220.85. And lastly, I had the Navy Federal card, and that was $110. And then I had a Walmart card, and that was $146.46. So as I stated earlier, I borrowed against the Navy Federal cash advance. I got a cash advance on the Navy Federal card for $18.60. I took that and paid off all of these cards. That came out to be about roughly say $1,700. And for the average daily balance, I was paying about $3 to $4 each. But on the Navy Federal, if you remember, I was paying 92 cents for the card. So I think that was a good deal. I was able to pay them off last year, and I was able to free up some monthly payments. The Discover card was $49 a month. pedal 25, these two 21, and that was about a total of 50, 75, 42, 90, 97. I think so. I don't have my whole card. 42, 49, 11, 91. Okay. So I saved about $91 on all four cars that I'm no longer paying for. So when we went from January to February, I had a negative cash flow of about $1,300. So far, in looking at my budget, my cash flow should be about $890. So let's just go ahead and say 900. So, and at a minimum, using the velocity banking, I have the potential, because I still haven't finished my entire budget for February. I have the potential to have increased my cash flow by at least $1,200. Now, this significant jump probably came from the Discover car, because that car was about $1,300. So that probably may have been an anomaly or unusual, but we'll see next month in general. In looking at the budget, and that's one of the things that I've learned that's very important. Really get an opportunity to put together a budget. You really need to see your numbers. In this particular budget, I had a section on my income, I had a section for housing expenses, then a section for my monthly expenses that occur monthly, and then there's a section on daily expenses. So last year, for those three sections, so for the housing expenses last month, housing, I spent about $1,650. Last month for monthly, that was $2,431. And lastly, for the daily expenses, that was about $505.11. And that came up to, I can't remember right off the top of my head, 3,000? Probably a little over 4,000. Okay. So total expenses, yeah, about a little over 4,000. So yeah, so my experience so far with velocity banking for that first month and where I am now, I think it's amazing. It's amazing in the sense that I would have continued for a while probably to pay on just, now I have a total of maybe 10 cards. But I probably would have continued with these four by paying the minimum each month. But I took the chance with velocity banking using someone else's money to pay down my debt, particularly revolving. That's one of the key things, I think. Revolving credit. That's important. Now you can do it with other types of credit, but revolving was the one that was recommended in general. And what I have done is I don't have a HELOC home equity line of credit. I don't have a PLOC personal line of credit in general. So I just had to start from where I was. And I had one credit card. It had a zero balance, but I could have taken cash off it. And that cash was at 18% interest, lower than the credit cards, and it allowed me to wipe out these credit cards and have at least $91 extra a month now. So 91 times 12, that's about $1,200 extra a year. However, because I'm now thinking about my money daily versus monthly, this $92 will roll over to next month to help me further bring down the cost. So again, I really encourage you to set up a budget to kind of see where your money at. Now, one of the other bills that I have that I'm gonna try to work on is Chase Automobile, and this was about about 60. Sorry, y'all. Just a second. All right. So one of the other things on my credit is the Chase card, and not the Chase card, but the Chase vehicle, and that's Chase is financing a car. That car is at 60. I'm gonna say 6,700. Now, like I said earlier, I was able to obtain a pledge loan for Navy Federal for $4,000 within 2 to 3 days. I'm gonna try to get this lower using the velocity method, because right now I'm paying 8.99%. The pledge loan is 2.25%. So once I get this down to 4,000, then I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it out. Then I'll be paying my Navy Federal back or myself back at 2.25%. So and that's called the pledge loan. So you may want to check that out. Something else that I started doing also was I went out and got me a notebook so that I can keep up with some of the concepts and definitions, my credit card balances. I really wanted to have them with me. So if I'm going out somewhere and I have some time on my hands, I want to go back and look at where I've come from in terms of my credit reporting, some notes, numbers. So yeah, I really encourage you also get your notebook, keep your experiences in the notebook, and just refer to them periodically. And I know earlier I talked about one of the restaurants that I went to that used to have food for $3.99 and now it's $6.99. That's a little more than a 50% increase. So in addition to the percentage rates that we have on our loans, also looking at the general cost of goods and services that can also have an impact. So once again, thank you very much for joining me on this journey. It's been very enlightening. I really like velocity banking personally for what it has done for me within the first month. It has accelerating reducing my debt, but I had to be definitely more disciplined in terms of getting the money into the account, trying to make sure that I deduct everything from one account, which has been a challenge. But I did also learn how to pay my mortgage through a credit card. So that was something definitely I learned in general. So now what I do for the credit card and to try to get points, I'm now going to my bank, having them try to draft off my checking account. And if the resources are not there, then they pull from the credit card, pay it, and I can get some points for it. But I immediately go the next day or that same night to pay off the card. So yeah, now I've learned that I can at this particular time. When I first saw it and understood it, one gentleman was saying that they were paying up to $7,000 in mortgages on their credit cards, and maybe the credit cards company decided to change that policy. So I'm restricted only to about $1,000 in being able to use this as a system. Also, the pledge loan in general, that's a really great opportunity to use that to help also out. So there's a lot of things that people say on the internet that may be outdated within a couple of weeks or a couple of months, but it's also, I think, because we're spreading the information, people are using these strategies, and the institutions and the banks are here to make money. So they then have to try to figure out new ways to make it the system work for them. But so far, I really like velocity banking. I really like where it's taking me. Um, with my credit card debt in general, I think I was up to about 25 to $30,000 in personal and business credit. But through this system, so far, I think I've reduced at least $4,000 off of what I've been working with. And as I continue to understand and my budget continues to evolve, hopefully you will see the changes and the growth in it. Currently, responsible for approximately, I think, $307,000 in debt, and I'm trying to pull myself out of the hole. And I think it's going good. I really like where I'm going with this velocity banking. So if I can teach you the principles and practices of it, if you'd like to work with me personally and some of my company, then more than happy to help. I do small micro loans. I also help with authorized users. Again, my first client that I ever had was able to boost his score by at least 80 to 90 points within about 2 months, if not less. So if you want to boost your credit score, become an authorized user, or we can look at the credit, I can help you with small loans, and we can get you started some way down this line. Again, my name is Dr. Willie Green. I am not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I'm not an accountant. I'm an experimental political economist, and I've been running experiments in terms of how to reduce my overall debt and how to help others. So thank you very much, and I hope you learned some things from it. You have a great day. Bye bye, everyone.